Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the topic modulus of rigidity, that is eta, in terms of alpha and beta. The next, Young's modulus in terms of alpha. The next, relation connecting the three elastic constant. The next, Poisson's ratio. These are all topics which is covered in this session. Modulus of rigidity. We have to derive the modulus of rigidity eta in terms of alpha and beta. Here, modulus of rigidity is the ratio of tangential stress to the shearing strain. It is indicated by the letter eta. It undergoes changes in the shape of the body where there is no changes in its volume. Then we can derive the expression of eta. Let us consider a cube. Let the top face of the cube is A, B, H, G. Be shared by a shearing force F, which is act in this direction, which is related to the bottom face, such that A takes up the position, A to A dash and B takes up the position B to B dash. Here changes in its length, which is taken as a L. Here A is taken the position A to A dash, at the same time B is taken the position B to B dash while applying the force F. At that time the changes in the length of the body is L. Here L is denoted in this diagram. Here A dash, which is equal to L. Here B dash, which is equal to L. The angle ADA dash, being equal to the angle tensile stress. Here force which is applied to the face ABHG, with it consists of the side. The side of the cube is taken as a L. So area of the face ABHG, which is taken as a L square. So tensile stress is equal to force applied per unit area. Here area of the face ABHG. Here side which is taken as the original length of the each side is taken as a capital letter L. So area of the face ABHG is equal to L square, where L is the length of each edge of the cube. Here let the displacement, here displacement A takes the position from A to A dash, at the same time B take the position B to B dash, taken as a B, that is changes in its length. The next, shearing stress. Here stress is the changes in the length divided by the original length. Here changes in the length can be taken as a L. The next, original length of the cube is original length of the each edge can be taken as a L. Here shearing strain can be taken as theta. So shearing stress theta, which is equal to L divided by L. And next, coefficient of rigidity eta is equal to, we know that T divided by eta, or rigidity modulus, which is equal to tensile stress to the shearing strain. So T divided by theta. Substitute the value of T and theta. We know that T, tensile stress, is equal to F divided by L square, and theta as it is Next, go to next slide. Now, as we have seen in the shearing stress acting along AB, here shearing stress which is acting along AB, that's why its length will be changes to the L, which is equivalent to an equal linear tensile stress along the diagonal DB, and which is equal to the compressive stress along diagonal AC. Here which is equivalent to the diagonal DB, at the same time which is equivalent to the diagonal compressive diagonal AC. Then next, at right angle to the each other, because all the sides of the cube which is same, which is taken as a capital letter L. Thus, we have a tensile stress T along DB, along the diagonal DB. Here tensile stress which is acting along the DB, which is equal to the compressive stress T. Here compressive stress T which is acting along the AC, because here DB and AC are the diagonals of the cube, and since a linear tensile or compressive strain is always accompanied by a transverse or lateral strain of the opposite kind of all the direction which is perpendicular to the direction of the applied force. The effect of the compressive stress along AC is also to the increase the length of the diagonal DB. Here which increases the length of the diagonal DB. Here DB which is equivalent to the DE. Here DB which is equivalent to the DE. Here, if therefore alpha and beta be the longitudinal and lateral strain per unit stress respectively, here alpha is the longitudinal or lateral strains per unit stress respectively, we have the extension of the diagonal DB due to the tensile stress along it. So, it can be represented as dB into tensile stress T into alpha. Then alpha is the extension per unit length, and the extension due to the compressive stress along the diagonal AC can be taken as dB into T into beta, dB into tensile stress into beta. Therefore, total extension in the length of the diagonal dB is equal to EB dash. dB is equal to EB dash. Here EB dash which is the extension in the diagonal of the body. The next, therefore, total extension in the length of the diagonal dB is equal to EB dash. That can be rewritten as dB into T alpha plus T into beta. Here dB into, here common term is dB taken outside the bracket, remaining is T alpha plus T beta, that is total extension in the length of the diagonal. The next, here dB can be written as dB. Go through diagram. Here dB, we know that dB according to Pythagoras right angle triangle, here we have to take this triangle ADB. Here DB is the hypotenuse, here AD and AB, which is the sides of the other two sides of the triangle. Here DB square is equal to DB square is equal to AB square plus AD square. Here sum of the other two sides of the sum of the squares of the other two sides of the right angle triangle, which is equal to the square of the hypotenuse side. So DB square is equal to AB square plus AD square. We know that each edge of the cube is L. So L square plus L square. So 2L square is equal to DB square. So DB is equal to square root of 2 into L according to the Pythagoras theorem. So DB can be taken as L into root 2. So substitute the value of L into root 2 in this part. We get L into root 2, the next into tensile stress into alpha plus beta, which is the extension in the body. Next, drop a perpendicular BE from B on a DB dash. Perpendicular, that is BE to the face B dash E. Then increases in the length of the DB, which is practically equal to the EB dash. Clearly EB dash is equal to B into B dash into cos of here EB dash can be taken as here EB dash. Here this is the right angle triangle. Here BEB dash, which is the right angle triangle. And next here EB dash, which is equal to BB dash into cos of EB dash B. EB dash B. So we know that here BEB dash, which is equal to 90 degree. The remaining two angles, angle B, angle B dash, which is taken as a 45 degree, and here this is also B dash also 45 degree, because sum of the total angle of the triangle is taken as a 180 degree. So that here this is 90 degree. The other two angles of the triangle, which is taken as a 45 degree and 45 degree. So here EB dash is equal to, we know that extension in the length of the body, that is B, take the position from B to B dash taken as a L, that is the changes in the length L, which is equal to cos 45 degree. And next EB dash is equal to L divided by root 2, because cos 45 degree is equal to 1 divided by root 2. Here cos of B dash E, which is equal to 45 degree, very nearly take the position, that is 1 divided by root 2. Then next L into root 2, that is DB value, L into root 2 into tensile stress alpha plus beta is equal to L divided by root 2, that is EB dash. Here DB is equal to EB dash, then EB dash, which is equal to L divided by root 2. Then next here L into T, here root 2 into root 2, that is 1 divided by 2, here L numerator term, that will be goes to the denominator of the left hand side. Then remaining is L into T divided by L, which is equal to 1 divided by 2 into alpha plus beta. Here this equation can be rewritten as T divided by L divided by L, small letter L divided by capital letter L, which is equal to 1 divided by 2 alpha plus beta. Here T as it is, here change in length to the original length, here change in length to the original length, that is stress or theta, sorry, strain. L, change in length to the original length, that is strain, that can be taken as a value of theta, T divided by theta, which is equal to 1 divided by 2 alpha plus beta. And since T divided by theta, which is equal to modulus of rigidity eta, or coefficient of rigidity of the material of the cube. So we have eta is equal to 1 divided by 2 alpha plus beta. This is the expression of coefficient of rigidity or modulus of rigidity in terms of alpha and beta. The next, Young's modulus in terms of alpha. Here Young's modulus is the ratio of longitudinal stress to the linear strain. Here Young's modulus, which is the ratio of longitudinal stress to the linear strain within the elastic limit, is called the Young's modulus, which is indicated by the letter capital letter Y. If you imagine a cube of the unit edge, that is edge is taken as a 1 meter, which is, or 1 meter or 1 centimeter, which is acted upon by a unit tensile along one edge, the extension produced is alpha. The extension along the length of the body, which is taken as a alpha. Then clearly stress is equal to 1, that is force applied to the area of cross section, which is taken as a force applied per unit area which is equal to 1. So force is equal to 1 Newton, force divided by, here stress is force divided by area, force which is equal to 1 Newton. The next area is equal to 1 meter square. So stress is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. The next linear strain, or simply strain, is equal to change in length to the original length. Here extension in the length, which is alpha, divided by original length is 1 meter. So it is simply taken as a alpha. Therefore Young's modulus Y is equal to stress divided by strain, or longitudinal stress to the linear strain. So Y is equal to 1 divided by alpha. This is the expression of the Young's modulus in terms of the alpha. The next, relation connecting the elastic constant, or relation connecting the three elastic constants. We know that bulk modulus, which is already derived in the previous session. Here bulk modulus K, which is equal to 1 divided by 3 into alpha minus 2 beta. This is taken as equation number 1. The next, modulus of rigidity eta, which is equal to 1 divided by 2 alpha plus beta. This is taken as equation number 2. The next, Young's modulus Y is equal to 1 divided by alpha. This is equation number 3. We have from relation 1, above relation, it can be rewritten as alpha minus 2 beta. Here alpha minus 2 beta, which is equal to 1 divided by 3k. This is equation number 4. And from relation 2, it is also rewritten as alpha plus beta is equal to 1 divided by 2 eta. This is equation number 5. Subtracting equation 4 from 5 we have, subtracting equation 4 from 5 we have 3 beta. So alpha minus alpha will be cancelled, then minus of minus plus 2 beta plus beta 3 beta, and remaining is 1 divided by 2 eta minus 1 divided by 3k. The next it can be rewritten as 6 eta into k, 3k minus 2 eta. And again multiplying equation 5 by 2, equation 5 into 2, and adding to the equation 4 we have, multiplying 5 into 2 and adding this to the equation 4 we get 3 alpha. Here multiplying by 2, that means 2 beta, then adding this to the equation number 4, that is 2 beta get cancelled. Here 2 alpha plus alpha, that is 3 alpha. Here multiplying by 2, here denominator consists of a 2 and numerator consists of a 2, then also denominator consists of a 2. Here 2 will be cancelled, remaining is 1 divided by eta plus 1 divided by 3k. It can be written as 3k plus eta divided by 3k eta. Next alpha can be written as, here alpha 3 get cancelled, here 3 alpha can be written as 3 alpha is equal to 3k plus eta divided by 3kn. Alpha is equal to, here numerator term left hand side, in left hand side it consists of a 3 alpha which is in a numerator term, that will be goes to the denominator of the right hand side, that is alpha is equal to 3k plus eta 9k into eta, 9k into eta. Here we know that the relation between the Young's modulus and alpha, here Young's modulus y is equal to 1 divided by alpha, or alpha can be written as 1 divided by y. So 1 divided by y is equal to 3k plus eta divided by 9k into n, or y can be written as y is equal to 9k n whole thing divided by 3k plus eta. The next here y divided by 9 here in right hand side numerator consists of a 9kn, so here 9 is goes to the denominator of the left hand side. So y divided by 9 which is equal to k into eta divided by 3k plus n. It can be written as 9 divided by y, 3k divided by k into eta plus eta divided by k into eta. Here k get cancelled, remaining is 3 divided by eta plus here eta term will be cancelled, remaining is 1 divided by k. So 9 divided by y, 9 divided by Young's modulus, which is equal to, this can be written as 3 divided by modulus of rigidity plus 1 divided by bulk modulus k. This is the relation connecting the three elastic constant, that is Young's modulus, rigidity modulus or coefficient of rigidity, and also bulk modulus k. This is the relation connecting the three elastic constant values. The next, Poisson's ratio. Here Poisson's ratio, it is commonly observed fact that when we stretch a string or wire becomes longer but thinner. That is, when a wire is loaded, its length increases but its diameter will be decreases. when its length increases but its diameter is decreased by some amount, the strain produced in the direction of the applied force is called tangential or longitudinal strain, that is alpha. The strain produced in the direction of the applied force, here force is applied to the wire, is called as a tangential or longitudinal strain alpha, that produces in the perpendicular direction is called lateral strain, that is indicated by the letter beta. Lateral strain will be indicated by the letter beta. Here, within the elastic limit, the ratio of lateral strain to the longitudinal strain, within the elastic limit, the ratio of tangential strain to the longitudinal stress, here within the elastic limit, the ratio of lateral strain to the tangential strain, which is taken as a, or which is known as a Poisson's ratio, which is indicated by the letter sigma. Here sigma, which is the ratio of lateral strain to the tangential or linear strain, that is lateral strain, which is equal to beta. Next, tangential or linear strain, which is equal to alpha. Here the expression of the Poisson ratio can be written as sigma is equal to beta divided by alpha. Here the Poisson's ratio is the ratio of the two strains, so it has no units and dimensions, because it produces only changes in the shape of the body or volume of the body. The next, the limiting value of the sigma or Poisson ratios are usually -1 to 0.5 plus 0.5. A negative value of sigma, Poisson's ratio, would mean that a body should expand laterally, and one can hardly expect this to happen ordinarily. At least we know of number such substance so far. Similarly, a value of sigma is 0.5 would mean that substance is perfectly incompressible. The substance is incompressible, and we do not know of any such substance either. In actual practice, the value of sigma is found to lie between the 0.2 and 0.4. Although Poisson's had a theory that the value of sigma for all elastic bodies should be 0.25, this is not borne out by any perimeter facts. Usually its limit is taken from -1 to 0.5. In theoretically it is taken as a 0.25. This is the value of the Poisson ratio. Then limiting value is -1 to the 0.5. Here Poisson ratio is, which is the ratio of the two strains, that is lateral strain to the tangential strain. Here lateral strain, which is indicated by the letter beta. The next, tangential or linear strain, which is indicated by the letter alpha. So sigma can be written as beta divided by alpha. This is the definition and expression of the Poisson's relation. It may ask for 2 marks. At the same time, here derive the expression of the modulus of rigidity, that is eta value, in terms of alpha and beta. This is also It may ask for 4 marks questions.